job's at Brunner Island Power Plant in York Haven, Pennsylvania. The job calls for installing 700 feet of 10-foot high aquadams. This is an 8-foot high aquadam that we're going to put in first to block the current. Here's the pumps. The machine I just took a picture of brought them down here. This will be attempt number 4, and they decided to move the aquadam downstream because this is the narrowest part of the stream flow. So this dam here, we're going to back up, aquadam, we're going to back up with stone, which he's putting out in the river now. And here the aquadam's being ready to roll down the hill and put the hoses in and start pumping. This is day number 3. Here the aquadam is being tied off so it can't roll down the hill anymore. And we got our 4 ropes around it going back up to the dead men blocks. Now we're ready to put the hoses in and start inflating this aquadam. These 4 gentlemen are holding the ropes. Last time the cement blocks, 3,500 pounds apiece, moved on them, so they dug a trench and put them in a trench. Much more stable. They've put a safety rope around the aquadam. Matter of fact, that's the second one. So thus we can help retrieve the aquadam at a later time. They're letting a waterhead build up inside the aquadams before they let out more rope. You can see the pipe coming up now. That's the end of the aquadam. Getting a rope around the pipe so we can pull it to shore. The aquadam's going to continue to inflate. Here's the 4 pumps running to fill the aquadam. Now we're going to cut the rope so we can retrieve them and reuse them on the next aquadam. Good job by everybody. There's where we were with the ropes and the dead men tied to, holding the ropes. The end of the aquadam, see the 4 green hoses, 2 on each side. The start of the aquadam. And the length, this is approximately a 75-foot long aquadam. There's about 67 feet into the water. Setting the AquaDam in place. We're taking off the ropes and the wrap. There's the start of the AquaDam. The fill tubes of the AquaDam. We're putting a hole through the outside material so we can tie it off back up to the anchor point. This will keep the AquaDam from sliding down the hill. Just put a hole through the material and put a rope through it. And there's many layers of material on this large AquaDam. There it is through the bottom and the top of the outside material. Here's the inside of the tube. The hoses have to go down into there. You can see how the AquaDam starts way up high on the bank. It's because it's a 10-foot high AquaDam and the water depth's about 5 feet. There are 12 green shirts involved with this. A lot of help, good help. Everybody's working together. We're using 6 3-inch Honda pumps to inflate the AquaDam. 3 pumps for each side of the AquaDam. The AquaDam has 2 sides to it. And we're using 3 pumps on each side to fill the AquaDam. Each pump is rated at 15,000 gallons per hour. We anticipate this to take approximately an hour and a half to fill up. You can see the tension on the ropes that it's causing on the AquaDam. The AquaDam's biting right into those ropes. There's 4 of them, and they're being held by the people up top. One of the pumps didn't work, so they're changing it out with a spare 3-inch pump that's on site. The AquaDam is going straight. The rock dam is not straight to where we want to be. And so we're filling in the gap in a couple spots so the AquaDam can't move over to the rock dam that the excavator's sitting on. It's too far away. We want more, we want the AquaDam to unroll. There they are. Everybody's working together. It's unrolling. It stopped unrolling. Everything according to plan. This is day 4. Got dark on us last night. We had to quit. We got a little problem with the beam is underneath the AquaDam on the end, and we are going to do something about that. Hopefully we're going to pull that beam out. So that's what the project is this morning, and then we'll finish filling this up and get on to putting in more AquaDams. We're putting a rope around this beam that the AquaDam came rolled up on. For some reason the beam is underneath the end of the AquaDam. We've got 10 to 15 feet to go. So we're going to try and pull that beam out using that piece of equipment over there on the other side of the river. The only reason this beam is sticking up like that is because it's attached to that bucket to the excavator. One stubborn beam there won't come out. The AquaDam came out, everything. Look at that beam. 4 Doug fir 4x6s. Construction grade. Look at that. This is less than half of the beam that the AquaDam came rolled up on. We pulled on ropes and 5/8 inch ropes and 3/4 inch rope and twisted these 3 beams together, the 3 4x6 beams together, and twisted until the fibers split apart. Tremendous amount of force it took to do this. Actually, the excavators maxed out, couldn't pull sideways anymore, and just amazing how much force that water has. So half the beam and the other half, or this half, put a small hole in the 10-foot high AquaDam, and but not very big, so we're going to live with that and just put water in it every day or every couple of days and make sure it stays full. But pretty gnarly beams. The other end looks just like this. It's still out there in the water. 10-foot high AquaDam's inflated. We're not pumping in water in anymore. We're getting ready to put the AquaDams in that go downstream. Past the far white AquaDam. Now we're digging back out the gravel and pointing a berm towards the direction we want the AquaDam to go, which is downstream towards the white AquaDam. We can't go over the top of this type of stone and make a watertight seal. So we have to remove the stone and do a good job at it. This is 10 days later. The water's dropped considerably. They put a lot of gravel in as a backup to the AquaDam, and now we're ready to put the AquaDam. This is Monday, April the 3rd, I believe. This is a 10-foot high by 253 feet. The AquaDam's in the water. Got our ropes around it. Now we're tying off our ropes and getting ready to hook it up to the hoses here. We've got too much slack up on the first AquaDam. It's going to come in the water, of course. Starting up the pumps. The first 250 feet of 10-foot high AquaDam's in. We're pumping her up now. We've got 400 lineal feet yet to go. Moving the next 10-footer out to the end of the AquaDam that's already been installed. The excavator is walking on the gravel berm that the contractor built. The gravel is 5 foot plus high. The water depth through here is 5+ feet deep. Now we're going to put the fill tubes through the collar and up through the holes on top of the collar so we can start our pumps up. The AquaDam has been attached to the previous AquaDam. The fill tubes come up through the collar and they're starting up the pumps. Well, this installation isn't looking too good. I can't keep enough pressure on the ropes. The left hand, this flow out here is a foot higher than this side over here. And oh, well, that sucked the bag right over the berm here. We should have had the berm higher. And if this don't work, we'll be making her higher next time. So I don't believe that this one's going to work out for us. We're going to have to do something different. So we'll see if this section here pulls back over the rock wall, which we hope it will. Of course, the river is only supposed to be 4 feet deep. Now it's above 6 feet deep and moving like crazy. The excavator's walking on a gravel berm. Of course, this in here has all been pulled back over the berm and is lining itself out again. The boil right here. The AquaDam went over some rocks or something that's holding it up off the ground, and this is what happened. Looking upstream, this is what happens when you try and choke off too much of the flow. When we originally started this job, we were only going out from the bank 40 feet from the bank on this side. Look at what happened to this flow. There is a 3-4 foot high wave. Riffles that this AquaDam's making by choking off the flow like this. Well, the dam we were putting in there on the end, the water kept building and eventually washed it out. The stone wall's got to come up considerably. What the excavator's walking on. So now we got to take that one out. There it goes. I gotta go down there and wrestle it to the side. Well, our one safety rope here held just fine. The AquaDam swung over to the bank and we're in business again. Well, the AquaDam beautifully came to this side of the river and now we're pulling it up and out. If you look really hard, you can see how high the water is up on that tree, up on the bank. See the water mark? Well, it raised it 3 feet in depth. We finally had to put a hole in the dam there. You can see the water coming out. That's what that little riffle by Herb's Head is. And so we have to drain it that way. The end of it did not unspin itself. So that water was trapped, and of course we can't remove it with all that weight of water in there. Well, we've got our berm several feet higher, and this is day 3 of the second go-around. We've got 30 feet to go. We're using 6 lines, 6 rope lines this time, and 2 excavators. Well, we got this AquaDam in. It was 110 feet long. It took most of the day. It took 2 excavators, 6 ropes, tie-off ropes to the bottom, back to shore, and but it's in there. And we've got 2 more to put in, and we're going to get it ready for today, and we're going to start pumping tomorrow morning. Great job. Put little mounds of fill behind the AquaDam to the top of it. Give it support. Well, this is next day, round 4 for this job on this second phase. Here's the next 100-foot long AquaDam. We're going to attach it to the end here. The white is the connection collar. It extends off this end about 10 feet. Where we want the AquaDam to go is right about there. You can see 3 orange paint marks. You can probably see them better now. We're aiming for the middle paint mark. That will be the inside edge of the AquaDam. So the one I'm putting over there is going to be half on the end of that white AquaDam and half off the end and into the water. That's very precise where they want this to go, and I'm hoping for the best. Here we've got our AquaDam about half deployed. We have 50 feet left on the AquaDam. We're almost there, and then we can turn it back to shore. Well, this one's finally in. It took all day. Just a big dead pool up here now. It's all been flooded out. This 4x6 beam is what we pulled off of. The ropes were pulling off this beam. We had 6 ropes. The ropes ran through these shackles. There were 6 of them. Well, the last dam has that we put in yesterday. We had to fight for the to get the beam out. We evidently put a hole in it, so it went flat over the night, or lost about 1/3 of the water. So they're pumping it up, and they're deciding if they want to maintain it or they want to take it out and put another dam in. One last picture trip through this project, and Herb will be back on Monday to finish it up. This is Friday afternoon. Everybody's gone home. Right here is a weak spot coming off the side of an AquaDam instead of off the end of it. It allows water to percolate underneath where the two connect at. That's what's happening right here. You can actually see the water moving pretty darn good. Of course, the water's higher on the other side of the AquaDam. That's why the bubble or the boil is happening here. So they're going to have to dig this gravel out and put sand right here in this corner. And that'll plug up this boil. It might even have to be attacked from the other side of this AquaDam, which excavator will have to reach over and put the sand there. Unfortunately, this last one's got a hole in it from trying to get the beam that it was rolled on up. The AquaDam was on top of it, the water inside was, and it just would not come. So wrenching it out of there with 2 excavators, we put a small hole in it, and hopefully we could maintain that with 1 3-inch pump. We'll know on Monday. Well, this channel must be getting deeper because this wave isn't as big as it was yesterday at night when we left. So I guess the sediments on the bottom are eroding out. When we wrestled the beam out, we had to put the hoe bucket this way and pull this bag back, and we got some little holes in the outside fabric. There's 3 plies of outside fabric on this AquaDam. Here's the beam that's stuck in it, the collar. For some reason, it didn't come out like it was supposed to. We actually twisted 4 4x6 Doug fir beams in 2, trying to get the darn thing out. So this is the major hang-up now. Should we replace this dam, or what should we do? To finish this off, we simply need to go straight over to the bank and at an angle. And we have another AquaDam for that. And I believe that's being put in on Monday, but I won't be here. Hopefully I'll get pictures of a dewatered work area later. Well, that concludes this installation.